اهلا وسهلا بكم في مقابله حصريه لليوم السابع مع المخرج العالمي برينت روسك. هيكلمنا عن فيلمه الجديد ديانا ان لاف، واللي هو اتصور جزء منه في مصر. تعالوا نشوف الحكايه حصلت ايه.
Are we rolling?
Hi Brent, how are you?
Good to see you, Miko.
Good to have you here. Thank you for your time and well done on a great film slash documentary, I might say, but it's actually a great film and it's kind of like captured a different side of Diana's life. Please tell me about the project.
So Diana in Love is a movie I've wanted to make for 15 years. And during the pandemic, I just decided it was now or never. These audition tapes and all these actresses, and I just wasn't finding the right one. And it sounds like I'm making this up, but I'm not. It was the last day of auditions, over 6 months of casting. It was the last day I was taking submissions. And it was actually about an hour after it had been taken down off the breakdowns. And I got an email from Shanti Fines, and said, I just saw this. Can I send you a video? I said, sure, would love to see it. And she did about a page and a half of dialogue. And I didn't know her background. I didn't know anything at the time. The first thing I heard was her voice. And it was so perfect because she was raised in London. That accent is natural. That is her normal speaking voice. And it just sounded so perfect. And then we did a Zoom chat a couple days later, and that's when she told me that, you know, her uncle is Oscar nominee Ray Fiennes. Her other uncle Joseph Fiennes is a very well-known actor, starred in Shakespeare in Love, amongst other things, and her family has been almost royalty in England since the 1300s. They have an estate with a castle. It's crazy. So it was amazing to get her to sign on. I wouldn't have made the movie had she not signed on to play Diana. And I think she just did a great job. And like you said, it's a little bit documentary. It's a little bit fictional. When you film a movie with a very low budget, we had to figure out ways to do things inexpensively. And one of the ways to do that was I wrote the whole script to have Diana take her own video camera and have her friends videotape her trip to California. So that's why, I mean, it's shaky camera and it's all, you know, but the actors literally do in some scenes hand the camera back and forth. And it was just a lot of fun. They were great sports, and I'm really grateful and proud of this movie.
By what you just said, and to say that she did look like Diana, she did sound like Diana.
Thank you.
And the whole, like, her trip to Los Angeles and stuff like this, it's fantastic. I think it kind of took us away from the whole royal family, the whole vibe of England in the UK, which is, we have seen it many times. Yeah. So can you tell me some of the challenges that you faced doing this project?
Yeah, we filmed this movie very quickly. And I lived in California. I lived in Los Angeles for 17 years, but I live in the Midwest now. I have a beautiful wife and daughter, and we live here. So in the last 16 months, I've been to California 14 times. And several of those were to make the movie. So what we would do is we would film for a couple days, and then I would come back and do a bunch of editing and figure out what was really working and what needed work. And you know, the co-stars in the movie, Drew Brown and Elsa Bormond, do a fantastic job. And it was originally scripted to just have one best friend. And they both auditioned, and they both did such a good job, and they brought such different things to the role. So I'm like, okay, we'll just have two good friends. So they get to have, and as you know, you've seen the movie, but people who haven't seen the movie, you know, we did film in Cairo. We'll talk about that in a second. We did film in Rome outside of the Colosseum, but we also filmed on a sailboat in Marina del Rey out on the ocean. So it is just a lovely trip. You go on this really nice, it's a movie about friendship. It's a movie about supporting your friends and enjoying life. And it's really a different approach to a Princess Diana film that's really ever been done before.
Especially with the lead actress, Diana. She never acted before, or has she?
So she has. This is just her first major role. So she's been doing years of study. And her family, she tells a great story. When she was 13, her aunt was directing a movie with her uncle, Ray Fiennes, and they said, oh, you should have a small role in it. She goes, no, I'm going to go to college. I don't want to be an actor. And then she thought about it. She's been taking classes now, acting classes, for about 4 years. And she got a philosophy degree out of college. That was her. she describes it as her big rebellion with her family that are all artists. Her father is a composer and a music producer. And she's like, no, I'm going to go be a student. But then the art inside of her came out. And so, but yeah, this is her first major role.
I guess it's genes, inheritance. You know?
Exactly.
Why this part of Diana, to be specific?
I've wanted to make a movie like this about Diana, especially because so many other movies about her come up with ways to make her cry on camera. We're gonna have this other horrible thing happen to her. I think Kristen Stewart did a fantastic job in the movie Spencer, but it's not a fun movie to watch. So all the research I did, again, over the last 15 years, there was a part of Diana that loved life, that would have pranks on her friends, that would go on spur of the moment trips and really enjoy herself. And I just felt, I'm a father to a daughter, and I just felt like no one was looking out for her. I know that sounds how it sounds, but I wanted someone to make a movie about Diana that spoke of love and caring and supportive friendship. So it was important to me.
So like her passing away was so tragic to a lot of countries, a lot of people, because she won the hearts of the people, especially for Egyptians, since the whole story with Al Fayed family and Al Dodi himself dying with her, it kind of affected the Egyptian people in such a profound way.
Yeah.
But going back to the Egyptian part of the film, you did film in Egypt. You did take a part where you interviewed Mohammed Al Fayed in Egypt. Tell me about that.
So that was very important to me. Mohammed Al Fayed, I'm a fan of his, and again, he sadly just passed away. That was very sad for me because I wanted to show him the film personally. I always, he was not a young person. He was 94 years old, but I was hoping to be able to sit with him and show him the film, because he's portrayed very sympathetically. His Dodi is shown in the film. His brother is shown in the film as well, or actors portraying these people, I should say. And so the character, though, of Muhammad, I had cast someone else. And of all things, again, a lot of what I do is in television, and we were filming at a house in Newport Beach, right on the beach in California. And the owner, we all went out for a drink afterward, and we're overlooking the ocean and all that. And he says, "Who do you have playing Muhammad?" And I told him, I showed him a picture. He goes, "He doesn't look like him. I look like him." I said, "Okay." And he goes, "I'm a businessman. I own real estate all over the world, but I also have a theater major, and you have to cast me as this role." I said, "You're kidding me." Wow. And then he said, "I'll having a drink." I said, "Here." And I pulled up the script on my phone. I said, "Just read this. Don't act it, just read it." And he did. And I could see it, that he has his own Rafiq Kamel is his name. And he's a lovely man. He is, and he has had his own personal story of coming from very meager background, and now he's a very successful businessman. So and you've seen in the movie, that's one take. Yeah. We did a couple different takes, and I've got a few different edits of it where I mixed and matched and I used a couple things, but then I just saw the one shot that you see in the movie, and it's 2 minutes and 12 seconds. And that was one shot, and it was locked off. And so in post, I just do like a little zoom in on it, and that's it. And he tells this story, he touches about, he's playing Muhammad, and he touches upon how he, sold candy in the streets of Alexandria, how he helped build Dubai as he got bigger and bigger. And then I really wanted it to, at the end of this clip, he says, "You know what, let's do this interview at Harrods, or let's do it in Dubai, let's do it somewhere else." And that's all you see of him. And I thought that was really interesting because, during his life, Mohammed Al Fayed, especially after sadly his son and Diana passed away, he was not afraid of the TV cameras. He would do interviews and that sort of thing. But I always got the sense that he was very specific on what he would do in front of the camera. So I wanted that to be touched upon in the movie. But also, he does, in my version of it, he does acknowledge the fact that Why didn't they just stay at the hotel? Why did they have to drive across town with all the people looking for him, and that he felt like he could have done more? And I can only imagine, again, I don't say this lightly. I was really planning on showing him the movie personally. And I can only imagine the anguish that he went through, you know, for the last 25 years. And we're having a conversation. So there you go.
No, it's just having him and the pyramid behind him. It was just like, you can't sell anymore after this. You don't have to tell them where Muhammad is. They know, like if you have the Eiffel Tower, the Colosseum of Rome, it's kind of a statement. They already, it's not CGI. He's literally there. It doesn't matter the director there or not.
You know, and that, what you just said is so important. It's not CGI. This movie is not artificial intelligence. These are human beings interacting with each other. As you know, most of the takes are very long. They're just two-shot, their coverage as if it's just a documentary. But that shot particular, I was like, you know, we need the pyramids right over his shoulder. And they were like, well, that's a bit, you know, is that cliche or anything? I said, I don't care. I just need that to be the case, because the movie is a living document. The movie, you know, he was in front of the pyramids. Julia was in front of the Colosseum. We did go out on a yacht sailing on the ocean. It was very important for me to have the characters experience that and have it be as real as it could be. So yeah, no, there's no green screen in this movie.
Do you want to say anything to your fans in Egypt?
So if I would love to go. So maybe the next project, it'll be some sort of follow-up.
Absolutely. Good luck. Thank you again, Brent, for your time. And I hope you all the best. And we'll see you soon.
Thanks, Miko. Bye-bye.